an advice discussion-oriented video on ADSR. And it's a question I actually get quite a bit, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube comments, email. A lot of people ask me, maybe they're absolute beginners and they haven't purchased a DAW at a DAW, or maybe they're using a DAW and they're questioning their DAW's choice. And I get asked this all the time, and it's a really popular question. What DAW is the best DAW or the best DAW? And it's a heated debate. I mean, people who are passionate about what they use to create with, obviously they're gonna have some strong feelings about that. So there's whole shootouts and things on Gear Sluts and Reddit about Logic versus Ableton and Pro Tools versus Logic and FL Studio versus Cubase and Reason. So the answer to this question that I'm gonna give you is probably not a popular one. And the answer to this question is whatever DAW you use, whatever DAW you're using, that's probably the best one for you. Now, the reason why I said for you is because what you use to create as a human and as an individual is really dependent on personal taste and your choice, personal choice. You cannot empirically state Logic is better than Pro Tools. You cannot empirically state that Pro Tools is better than Ableton Live. You just can't, because the way we gauge success in the music industry is by people consuming what we create with those DAWs, with those DAWs. And people who consume a high quality, a high amount of music, like let's say a SoundCloud playlist or a song has 500,000 listens or plays, and on Spotify it has 100 million, and it charted on iTunes, right? That song became successful. It doesn't matter what DAW you use to create that song, because the end listener doesn't care. So you can't empirically state that one DAW is better than the other. It'd be like stating that one type of paper is better than the other paper for a painter. It's a stylistic choice. Some people can do amazing things in a DAW that blows my mind and I can't even use. So the DAWs that I personally know how to use are Logic. I know how to use Pro Tools. I used Pro Tools for a while. And back in the day, I did use FL Studio when I was PC based very briefly. I mean, it was when it was Fruity Loops. It wasn't FL Studio. And I have been learning Ableton Live for the past 6 months and getting more comfortable in it. So I have dabbled in quite a bit of DAWs, and I've tried a bunch of them actually. And that's why I wanted to do this video, because I've actually thought about changing my DAW, and because just getting that something new can help you, inspire you to create. But also there's a lot to be said about being very comfortable with something and mastering your DAW. So the answer to the question of what's the best DAW is it's whatever DAW you're using and that you're comfortable with. Now, if you just feel like you are always butting your head against a wall and you just cannot create as free-flowingly as you want, then you might be using the wrong DAW. Test out and demo the DAW. I used Ableton. I tested the demo and I liked elements of it. Like I love Simpler and Sampler, but it's ugly and it's small and I don't like certain elements of the GUI, but I love how it sounds. I love the idea of the racks down below. I love a lot of Ableton Live, but I also love a lot of Logic. And so I told myself, I'm not gonna just switch and be like, okay, I'm done with Logic, now only on to Ableton. I just use Ableton sometimes and see what happens. If I have a client or a project that I need to finish, I'm gonna use the DAW that I'm most comfortable in, which is Logic or Logic Pro X. So again, don't overthink this, guys. It's really simple. If you're happy creating in your DAW, don't care if Skrillex or whoever uses Ableton. Don't care if I use Logic or if whoever uses Pro Tools or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're getting good results, if your career is moving forward, if you're getting good progress in your mixes and your sound, doesn't matter what you're using. Don't change your DAW choice just because someone else is using a DAW that you look up to. Now, I want to talk about price points because that's important. If you're just starting out and you're trying to figure out what DAW to buy, and maybe you're using GarageBand or a free DAW, and I want to talk about the options out there, and there are many of them. There are Logic X, there's Ableton, there's FL Studio, there's Cubase, there's Pro Tools, there's Reason, there's Studio One, there's Bitwig even, and then there's one called Reaper. So that's 9. I don't know why I'm doing 9 like that. It'd be easier to go like that. That's 9 different choices, and there are ones that I'm missing. There's Sonar for Mac. I don't know if I hit Cubase. I hope I did. There is also one made by how am I blanking on this name? Oh, Digital Performer. There it is. So there is a solid probably 15 DAWs out there, and some of them are free and a lot of them are more expensive than others. In my opinion, you need to look at it like this. Are you Mac-based or PC-based? I'm Mac-based, and I question that sometimes, but a lot of my stuff is Mac-based, and therefore, Logic is an option for me. And in my opinion, on a Mac, Logic is the most cost-effective DAW. And I don't know if that's opinion anymore because it comes with so much stuff. Like Ableton Live, there's 3 different versions. The full version is $799, $700. You can get student discounts. Logic is $199. And ever since Logic redid their plugins, they added some new plugins, and they included Alchemy, which used to be a $250 synth when Camo Audio existed before Apple bought it, for free. I don't know what DAW gives you that bang for your buck if you're a Mac user for $199. And I did compare this. The lower price points of Ableton, they don't give you what you would get with like Alchemy and some of the Apple loops and samples. Like, you get everything. You get all the plugins. So the bang for the buck, I would say Logic is best. But sound quality, usability, like GUI, that's all personal taste. Some people love the sound of Logic, some people hate it, some people love the sound of Ableton, some people hate it. Some people say that all DAWs sound the same. I personally don't agree with that, but I digress. So it really just depends, guys. Like, if you're just starting out, what's your budget? If you're on a Mac, Logic X is a great option. It's $199. If you're not on a Mac and you're doing EDM, hip-hop, pop type stuff, FL Studio, Ableton Live are great options. If you're recording more of live band and you're going to be more mixing, more of a mix engineer, Pro Tools is great because mixing on Pro Tools, it just makes sense. Other things don't make as much sense on Pro Tools, like MIDI implementation and all that, but it's gotten a lot better. And then Cubase is this whole thing. Cubase confused the hell out of me when I used it, but you can do some really cool stuff. Studio One is another good DAW by Presonus. Reason's really fun. So guys, it really just depends what you feel comfortable with. Most of these DAW companies have demos now. Demo a DAW, see if you like it, move on to the next. You will find one that will click with you and resonate with you. And then you can look into the feature set, the price point, and compare it against what you're currently using. So if you guys have any questions or comments, post them up below. I want to have a healthy discussion on this video like we've had on the last style of video with this, or the couple of videos I've done. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I'm Echo Soundworks. I'll see you guys next time.